You're now listening to D&D live on demand.
What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Command, a D&D football podcast. It feels like it's been a minute. But of course, you got your man DH, and as always, you got my compadre going into the second season of the show, Dee Middy. Dee Middy, what's up, bro?
Man, you know what it is. Feeling good, feeling great. How you been doing?
I'm good, man. You know, I finally let the season pass. I finally yelled enough. Super Bowl came and went. I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to get the off season started. And that's why we doing this episode right here, because we got some big news that I'm pretty sure everybody's heard. We'll get to that in a minute. But man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. How is your off? Well, the off season only a week old now, but the playoffs, Super Bowl, how was everything for you, bro?
I will say this, man. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to watch that Super Bowl. It was even better to end the NFL season with the chatter that went into signing Eric Bieniemy, man. Which is am I too early? Am I too early? I'm sorry. But with the news that has dropped, that's benefiting this organization that we follow to watch the Commanders, and I just feel like watching the playoffs as well, just kind of rewinding back. It made me think like this team may have not been ready, and this key piece that they can pick up this offseason to be ready for a playoff push going into next season.
True, man. Absolutely, man. And we'll just get right to it. If you've been under a rock, you would now learn that Eric Bieniemy is not an offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. After firing Scott Turner a few months ago, Ron Rivera had made an effort to go out there and find the best guy, and it's kind of who we've been clamoring for. Eric Bieniemy.
Right.
So he came back and he found a way to sign him. But before we get into that, D Middy, want to remind everybody, if this is your first time listening to the show or watching the show, we appreciate you for tuning in. And since you're here, make sure you do us a favor to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And if you feel so inclined to leave us a 5-star review, you can get your 5 seconds of fame. That's it. That's all. And of course, as this off season keeps going on, we'll have a few more episodes. We'll be covering the draft. We'll be covering some college prospects. We'll be covering more off season moves for the Commanders. So make sure you lock in and tune in with us and be here, because you never know. You might just get a random episode out the blue like you're getting this one. All right. Of course, we'll have every weekly episode during the regular season, and then we'll be adding a little more content throughout the way. So, man, make sure y'all lock in and tune in with us. We appreciate y'all coming back. We're getting this random episode, this random breaking news episode, because we had to come on and talk about it. But yeah, D Middy, Eric Bieniemy signed. Give me your first initial reaction to the actual signing that happened. Well, just locked it in yesterday. Today's Sunday. They just locked it in on Saturday. Or Friday or Saturday. Friday, one or two. Give me your actual thoughts on just your initial thoughts on the signing itself. How you feel with Eric Bieniemy now being the new Washington Commanders offensive coordinator?
Man, just a quick synopsis on it, bro. From my perspective, when it just going from the end of the season and knowing that there was changes to be made and Scott Turner being fired, someone had to come in to be able to not only to grab this team by the horns and pull them in the right direction. You needed somebody who actually has done it in recent memory, recent history. And with having a two-time, and now my boy Deuce has been doing on Twitter and on social media, that two-time Super Bowl champion offensive coordinator to come in and to be able to move this offense in the right direction. And not only that, but has autonomy over the actual staff. Because if you have, or let me just say, Jason Wright has put out a tweet, and it basically showed me that he is co-head coach, or as his title says, assistant head coach. So he has the ability to bring in his own staff and actually have a say into the rest of the staff. And I love that, man. I love having somebody like that in the building, man. When the news dropped on Friday, I was in the space listening to it at work, and everybody just made me feel like, man, change is going to come. All the Commanders fans and the other fans that came in, because the Twitter space got filled. It went from like 20 to 70 people 5 minutes into the news dropping, and it just made me feel like change is going to come.
No, absolutely, D Middy. And I'll go ahead and give the official press release of the Washington Commanders released. After 2 days, after 2 days of dinners, talking, and all that, Eric Bieniemy is hired as the assistant head coach and the offensive coordinator. And basically what this means is he'll have a wider role in helping with the staff, the offensive staff and the staff throughout. Basically, at this point, he's going to be able to help get the groceries and cook the meal, for lack of better words. Something
Yes,
that he did
sir.
not have in Kansas City, and something that he's desperately been looking for, and looking to get. I mean, it's a big get for the team. A very gaping hole that we had last year was the offense with Scott Turner, and now this year, this time around, we'll have somebody that's seasoned, that's been to a few Super Bowls, got 2 Super Bowl rings, um,
In 4
and
years.
exactly, and has been able to coach one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now, and one of the top offenses for the past few seasons. To bring that into already young, hungry stable of talent, that's going to be big. So yes, the Commanders announced that they did officially sign Eric Bieniemy as the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. Um, and I mean, it was pretty positive from Commanders fans.
It
We were all
was.
excited. We were ready for it because we knew how bad Scott Turner was, and I feel like now, he kind of got motivated for next season. Now, going to the opposite of that, nationally, this got some pretty tough looks. We get the different clips
Opinions.
from all these other shows. Well,
Um, Guys like Emmanuel Acho, and I can't think of anybody else, but his video just showed me that it wasn't more. It was a lot to do with the organization he went to, and the opportunity in general, because he's one of those guys that Eric Bieniemy should have been and needs to be a head coach. And I get that, but
so here's my thing, and I kind of went back and forth on yesterday on Twitter because everybody's just been killing us like, oh, he should definitely be a head coach, but he shouldn't go to the Commanders. Why is he going to the Commanders? Blah 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 blah. And I said, you know what? I look at it like this: a lot of these coaching opportunities for guys are in bad situations with rebuilding rosters, where yeah, you get total control, but total control over trash is you just a garbage man. And that's no shade to being a garbage man, but total control over trash, you a garbage man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these coaches where people talk about giving EB a true opportunity. Okay, who would you rather be, the OC and assistant head coach here, or go down to Houston? Well, yeah, you got the first pick, but your roster ain't all that. Or would you rather go to the Panthers?
yeah, you got 2 first-round picks in Houston, second and 12, and I mean, but are you right? Like you said, are you the trash man, or are you actually working with some real jewels, or working with some real talent? Because let's be honest, the one thing that's preventing this Washington, well, I can say the one thing, but the big stink, the big cloud that's over Washington is the front office, is the ownership, and that's about to change. And I made a post. I'm not going to be that person, but I'm a say
You-
something around the. Do we as people not understand that these backdoor, side door conversations happen in these big Fortune 500 companies and things like that? Does it not ring a bell that we all know Dan Snyder is on his team because it's already been cooking up for the longest with all the reports and Congress stuff? So I say all that to tie into Eric Bieniemy. When they was courting him, I'm pretty sure the conversation was, this new ownership is going to help us move in the right direction. As you can see, we have the talent. We have draft picks this year. If we want to move around and get some more draft, we can. Free agency looks good and bright for based on what we already have. So why not come to that organization that will have new ownership, that has the tools and only need just a few tweaks?
I mean, you look at it like this. They clowned our organization, but had he left and went to the 49ers, or had he left and
Oh,
went to the
it would have
Patriots,
been. Oh, they in the Super Bowl already.
or had he left and went and joined Pittsburgh, Like
They in the Super Bowl already.
they'd be like, he's going. Or what if he left and went to go coach Lamar Jackson with the Ravens? Oh,
They in the Super Bowl already.
he's such a talent needed. Yes, he should have a head coaching job, but this is the best possible situation for him to be in. Blah 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 blah. That's what they would say. They wouldn't talk about the organizations because they've been, so strong. And how? What if he left and went to Green Bay to coach Aaron Rodgers? Oh, this is perfect for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, this is great. They're not gonna talk about how the fact he should have a head
Super
coach.
Bowl bound.
They're gonna talk about him how he should be a guru, and da 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 da. So like that's what I'm saying, man. They come and they just, for lack of better words, toss crap on us to make it seem like we ain't nothing. And the thing about it is, man, we kind of got the chip on our shoulder. We the underdog, and I like that. That's cool because I feel like Eric Bieniemy is gonna get this offense where it needs to be. Of course, behind the rookie Sam Howell, who they already have slated to start and be QB1. Ron Rivera is still pointing toward that being the plan for next year. And it's even reported that Eric Bieniemy is aware of that, so he's gonna whip him into shape. But let me tell you what, Sam Howell's gonna reap the benefits of being under Eric Bieniemy. I mean,
absolutely, man.
Things that'll help this offense and help Sam be productive.
Absolutely. When you look at what talent Sam has and what he has done in the locker room in a short amount of time with the players, i.e., a Jahan Dotson interview you and I was just talking about, where he's a locker room guy. Players play for him. And now let me say that again and then preface that with saying, as a quarterback, players play for him. When you have that kind of guy, then you come in as an offensive coordinator who's won in recent history, recent memory, in the changing of the guard of this NFL, and you understand, hey, this is what this guy may need. Let me help this guy and this organization with the tools already in place, and show that I can be a head coach.
And Dee Middy, I think it's funny, man. We saw all the videos and posts, everybody talking, blah blah blah, and like they speaking on Eric Bieniemy's behalf. Did you see him at the signing? All smile, met with them for 2 days, understands his role
with that nice shiny big
right
piece of jewelry on that hand. Yes, sir. I've seen that, man. And you gotta understand, man. And I've heard Chiefs fan, and my brother called me Saturday evening after it was official because he said he didn't want to talk to me until it was official because he was like, man, congratulations. And I had to say, nah, bro, we ain't talked since the Super Bowl. Congratulations on y'all. Congratulations on being a man over 35 to see your team in the Super Bowl.
Hello.
But what he said was, man, he knew that Eric Bieniemy was going to leave, but he wanted Eric Bieniemy to be the coach in waiting. But a lot of those Chiefs fans understood that EB time was up. The 1 year deals was done for. The last few times he signed a contract was 1 year deals, and he was looking for a situation to not only grow in, but a situation to show his true talents, because he was living under Andy Reid's shadow for a while. Let's just be honest.
And this is going to allow him to really do that, being able to actually be a part of, picking the players and coming up with his schemes and doing everything. He has from what I'm aware of, he has a big role with the team this year coming up. And, people are acting like this is just a lateral move. It's really not. I saw somebody say today, if your job if they double your pay and give you a few more responsibilities, that's not a lateral move. That's a upgraded gig. You know what I'm saying? And much like Deuce Staley has been the assistant head coach. A lot of places he's been. He's assistant head coach in Detroit. Now he's the assistant head coach / running backs coach in the Panthers, with the Panthers. So he's like the right hand man to the coach and helps make them decisions, help make personnel decisions, which I know for a fact. Helps make personnel decisions, coaching decisions, things like that. So he's gonna have a big role, and I think he's earned it and he deserves it. And for everybody to talk trash about us and our organization, like, okay, that's fine. Talk your trash, whatever. And if Eric Bieniemy's happy with the move, then he's happy. Because let me tell you what, Ron Rivera interviewed a bunch of people. Eric Bieniemy had multiple opportunities to go to other places,
and
and
stay where he just won.
I guarantee if he was like, you know what, Andy, I want to stay here another year, let's do it. It'd have been fine. They'd have ran it back. They'd have been fine.
Come
He could have
on.
went to any of these other teams, and all that. But no, he met with us for 2 days and broke bread, talked about it, and stayed with us, which is why, and I'll say this as we head for the finish line. I feel like, man, we talk about ownership a lot. We talk about how the team's ownership structure is going to change. But I don't think the coaching staff and the management structure is going to change too much.
No.
I feel like this team is setting themselves up for the next couple years. Granted, I know fans are saying that, they're going to come in, ownership going to come in and blow out everything. A smart owner wouldn't do that because it took us essentially 3 seasons to kind of rebuild the structure of this franchise.
Right.
Think off of it. And the only thing we're left to get rid of is Dan. But to rebuild the front office like the way that they have, you'd be a fool to come in and just blow that up because then you'll really be starting from scratch again. And I want those fans to be prepared. And I said this. I said, okay, be prepared. Y'all been clamoring for new ownership and one new people in here. If they come in here and blow everything up, don't be mad if we suck again. Don't be mad if we go back to the bottom. Because
Another 4 or 5 year rebuild with another whole another regime. Because think about it like this: would you rather stay within the ascension of the organization or where it is now, and just continue to ascend? Let Eric Bieniemy take over the head coaching role once Ron's contract is up, or let Ron's last year of his contract convert into him being assistant GM or football president of football operations, and give Eric Bieniemy the full head coach role. Just let his staff just let him develop a staff going forward. Because to me that seems like a better future than, like you said, having ownership come in, blow it all up, and like how some people even said and really fix their mouth to say change the name again and all. Like, come on,
those
bro.
people can eat a hot one. And I look in the camera and say, y'all can. Let me not say that because then that's editing I got to do. I ain't gonna do it. But y'all, man, y'all can just hold my Johnson, man, for real. Because that ain't, that's not happening. And the more people say that, the more I'm just like, you're foolish to believe that, like you are.
This isn't matter. It's not video games, man.
You can't move your franchise. You can't rename it. I think truthfully, people have criticized Ron for his tenure here, but Ron has slowly made us better, very slowly. And the thing about it is, people want us to win so bad. And the thing about it is, Ron pretty much did a good job with putting us in position to win. You just saw that we didn't have the people in place to close the door. We didn't have a good, solid quarterback. We didn't have the right offense coordinator making those decisions.
O-line was beat up. Let's just admit the O-line was not what it was the previous year. It was not even close.
And if Ron Rivera wins 10 games, nobody's talking about him like this. Because he won 8, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And people want in this win now society, and that's the thing. They don't have blinders on. They're looking to the left and to the right. They see Dayball doing his thing with the Giants, getting them back together this year. But I'll tell you this was a flash in the pan. They won't be as good as they were this year. They won't.
No, because even Giants fans thought they was going to be cellar dwellers going to the season with Dayball. So,
and the Eagles played well this season. Can't really talk too bad. Get all the way to the Super Bowl. So, we have this thing where we look into the left and to the right. We got to look forward, look at what we've built, and look what we're doing, and look what Ron and staff is doing. I think Ron is doing an excellent job, and I'm on board with Ron Rivera because let me tell you what, I'm okay with this and actually building something and working because it doesn't happen overnight. Because you'd have those flash in the pan teams where, they're good for 1 year and then they suck. Like Vrabel's been good for a couple seasons. This year they couldn't get nothing done. When it came down to it in a game to get you in the playoffs, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it against Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? So like Ron is slowly building something, steadily building something. He's becoming more of a face around the league and a face for the team versus coaching, and he got good coaching staff in there. And I think we'll be a whole lot better this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just looking forward to what Eric Bieniemy is going to do, man. So I know Dee Middy.
Speaking of that, let me cut you off real quick and ask you a question. Speaking of what Eric Bieniemy might do or what he can do, do you feel as if he took the job and felt comfortable with 14 under center.
I feel like Ron Rivera shared the plans, and I think Ron Rivera is of a different mentality now. Okay, the swinging for the fences, unless you can get Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, those top guys, it's just not going
And
to.
only one of those guys is available, and you still have to sell the house and the farm to get that guy.
If you're talking about Joe Burrow, Josh Herbert, you could have drafted Herbert, but
Yeah, I
they,
mean, and Justin Herbert, man, like you got to understand,
he
guys
ain't all
like
that, in my
that.
opinion.
He's not a truck. He's a trailer in the sense of he needs to. He's just like any other quarterback you might get, and that you're going to have to make sure that everything around him works because the first couple of guys you named are trucks. They're not trailers.
Exactly.
Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen are trucks. They're pulling the team. Their arm talent, what they're doing is pulling the team, and as long as everything around them is pretty much up to average, they're good. You know,
And you can't, and we're not gonna be able to get those guys. So swinging for the fences for mid-tier quarterbacks is not working again. They
no,
can't do that with Fitzpatrick. I mean, they did it.
no,
They tried it with Fitzpatrick, it didn't work. They tried it with Carson Wentz, and it didn't work. So now you're gonna have to do it the way that other teams do it, the way that the Eagles are doing it right now, the way that the Bengals are doing it right now, the way that other teams are doing it with guys on rookie deals.
mm-hmm.
Fresh guys that are brand new. He's putting the reins on Sam Howell, saying, "Look, we're gonna build up everybody else around you. All you got to do is not trick it up. You
Yeah.
don't trick it up, and you play well, play solid. We'll be good to go. We can win now before we have to pay you, because when enough
Which
come around, it's gonna
another
be a deal.
which another topic I can keep you here all night because think about the
I'll let
fifth the fifth year option that you can utilize with a Sam Howell. If he plays well, he wins you a couple playoff games. Once he gets to the end of that 4 years of that deal, you don't the salary cap movement and where you can position your roster at that time in regards to cap. You won't have to pay him 60 million. You won't
you.
have to give him.
Technically, I don't even think he get a fifth year option because of where he was drafted. I
He
think
doesn't. He
fourth
doesn't.
year, like you can
Yeah.
sign him as early as the
Right,
third.
right. That's what I was pretty much alluding to. That fifth year option for you, and I'm using it figuratively, is to say once you go into that fourth year, and like I said, this year 2 and year 3 for him, and he wins you a playoff game and what have you, you start negotiating in the year 3 and going to year 4 and saying, look, this is what your value is to us, and this is where we want you here, and we're going to keep you keep you here. That's better than having a first round fifth year option.
I agree, man. I agree, and I'm looking forward to see what Eric Bieniemy can do for Sam Howell. He'll be the beneficiary of having somebody in here who knows the game of ball, and and I think people will listen to him more or less because he has done it recently. He can go right to this offense right now and say, "Look, y'all can't tell me nothing. I know what I'm talking about. I just had the top offense in this league. I just won a Super Bowl, and I got the guys that can do it. Y'all follow my lead. We'll go places." Just even in some of the things he
Man,
drew up in the Super Bowl and how it looked. I mean, the team just was ready, man. The team coming down 10 points. You have a guy like Mahomes, and they're able to use all their weapons to get them back in the game. I mean, I
Jared McKinnon, Pacheco, man, think about what Curtis Samuel, B Rock, not even B Rock, excuse me, AG,
yep.
what AG and Curtis Samuel and Dotson gonna look like in this offense next year, bro. Like,
Yeah.
dog. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. As I'm saying, I'm gonna go ahead and get my prediction. Sam Howell is gonna throw for 3,800 yards, 3,850.
And they 50.
3850. He gonna have touchdowns. I'm not gonna go too high. I'm gonna say 26.
I'm going plus 30 because we haven't had a 30 touchdown TD passer in years.
Okay.
So I'm going that and 4 racks. Let's just call it what it is.
Okay. I'm not
Pat,
I'm not I'm not hating.
Pat Mahomes threw for 5 racks this past year. I think Sam can throw for 4. And then you look at, I feel like everybody that will suit up will get a look.
Oh yeah.
Tight ends are going to benefit. Diami guys down the receiving depth chart going gonna get some looks, and it's gonna be nice, bro. It's gonna be nice.
And I'm gonna say two things. I think them young boys in the tight end room, this is your time to develop. This is your time to shine. One. Two, that defense gonna be on our defense gonna be on their heels. Y'all think y'all were top ranked, but y'all gonna have to practice against this offense every day.
Bro, let me tell you, the tight end role, if you can get somebody in here that can be half as good as Travis Kelce been.
May it be a draft pick, may it be a Gesicki or whoever out of there. Because I like Irv Smith. That's one of the guys I like in free agency. Some people say, don't go, Well, I was talking to somebody who's a Ravens fan, and he said it's best to go in the draft for one of those guys. And maybe so, but hey, if it's draft,
I think if you're able to utilize Cole Turner, bro. I'm thinking if Cole Turner man, Dee Middy, we gonna save it, man.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna keep you out. My wife is probably right now like hearing me in the other room, like if this month, but
get over here getting excited. Look, guys, let me just tell you, this is just a preamble of what the offseason gonna look like. Any breaking Commanders news, any free agency draft news, we're gonna talk about it right here. We're gonna be breaking episodes. We're gonna break command and kind of just talk us through this whole offseason as we look forward to September.
Mid-March is gonna be March Madness for the Pie, bro. When free agency hit on the 15th and the tampering time starts, so like 2 or 3 days before that, on like the 13th or the 12th, March Madness.
Hey, man, I love it, man. It's gonna be a whole lot of March Madness here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And always, man, stay tuned to Breaking Command. We will have something for you. But in the meantime, we're gonna get out of here. And Dee Middy, any parting shots before we get out of here?
Man, I just want to say thank you to those who are listening and watching. I want to give a shout out real quick to my father, man. My father told me, man, he loved what we're doing. He's been spreading the word around about the podcast, and he loved how we doing our transitions and I just want to say thank you, Pops. I love you. I want to say thank you to my wife because she's very, very, very much supportive. And shout out to the whole Commander family.
Hey, man, definitely shout out to everybody. Shout out to the good peeps for tuning in. Of course, we appreciate everybody for locking in with Breaking Command. Of course, like I said, man, stay tuned to the YouTube channel. It's going to be a whole lot coming down the pipeline, and you're going to want to be here for that. So for Dee Middy, for myself, and for everybody else, it's still Left Hand Up. Who are we? The Commanders. We catch you on the next episode of Breaking Command.